Politics is a touchy subject, especially today as emotions run high. Welcome to the Business Author Show. I'm Danielle Hampson, and my guest today, well, his emotions, they run high indeed, and he will share some of his thoughts with us. His name is Dom Sgamboloni, and he is the author of The America of My Dreams, a political manifesto. Welcome to the show, Dom.
A pleasure being with you.
Dom, in the introduction of your book, you start with these words, and I quote, "I am angry, I am frustrated, and I think it's time for a change, real change." Why are you angry? What are you frustrated about?
Well, I am angry just like many others these days because I've witnessed in the last 25 years or so the steady decline of this country, the steady demise of America, and I don't like what I see. And I reached a point in my life where I said, well, I can't sit by. I got to do something. I want to voice my dissatisfaction. I want to try to do something about it. That's when I said I will write a book. And I hope that this will create a grassroots movement and eventually will grow into something really big.
Dom, you recently wrote a letter to President Obama. What was in the letter, and did you get an answer?
First of all, no, I never got a response, and I never expected one. I don't think Washington wants to hear any common sense solutions. However, the reason for my letter to President Obama was that the fact that everybody's talking about the immigration issue and how to solve it, but nobody really has come up with anything yet. You got people talking about the repealing of the 14th Amendment. You got people who want to bus home 12 million illegal immigrants. And you got people that basically talk and have no idea what's coming out of their mouth. So what I did essentially, write to the president and say, here's a common sense solution. Just look at it. My solution was quite simple. One was secure the border with as many guardsmen and troops, if needed be, 10, 15, 20,000. Send a clear message to everyone that we mean business. Number two, make it illegal for employers here in the States to employ any illegal immigrants and make it a criminal offense so that if anybody violates the law, gets caught and convicted, he can spend a mandatory jail sentence. Whether it's 1 year or 5 years or 10 years, that could be adjusted. But people have to understand that if they break the law and they give jobs to illegal immigrants for the sake of saving a few bucks in payroll, there is a consequence if they get caught. And the other one, and the final one is build the fence, build the wall, put electronic fences, put the actual wall, put a fence to the point that people cannot really come over, under, on the side, etc. We want immigrants to come in here. We want professionals. We want laborers. We want everybody with a clean record. We don't want criminals. We don't want drug pushers. We don't want anyone who doesn't fit in this society. And basically, that was the gist of my letter to President Obama.
Now, do you think he read the letter? Do you think it got to him?
I don't know. I would say probably not, but I'm sure that some of his aides must have read it and told him about it. I don't know.
In your book, you propose a number of, shall I say, radical ideas, and one of which, for example, although not that radical, would be the creation of a third party. That is really not radical in itself, but what is more bold is the idea of merging the House of Representatives and the Senate to create a new Senate. Can you expand on that?
This idea of creating a new Senate is not a novel idea. It's not something they really can claim credit for. The state of Nebraska has already done this back in 1934 when they decided to merge the House with the Senate and have a unicameral body that really takes place of two. They found to be very transparent, very inexpensive, and much, much more effective in terms of legislation and taking care of business. Now, the way I look at it, in Washington today, we have 536 people. Some of them deserve to be there, some others don't. I would say for the most part, we have a lot of dead weight, especially in the House. You have no idea who they are, what they do. I, for one, can tell you that we got 2 representatives in Rhode Island. Never hear from them. We don't know what they do. We don't know where they are. So we don't want somebody to represent the people in Washington that don't even talk, never in the news, never promote anything. They just go along with the party. They vote yes or no as they're told. We don't want that. I want things to be transparent. I want things to be effective, and I want things to be very inexpensive. My calculation tells me that if we do what I say, the country could save anywhere between $5 to $10 billion a year in savings. Just imagine sending home 2/3 of those politicians back home.
Now, another bold idea of yours is actually the creation of a new Supreme Court. You say, and again I quote, "The current Supreme Court is made of 9 good but sometimes misguided people who are frequently driven by ideology rather than by laws or even common sense." Can you tell us a little bit about that, please?
I haven't seen a decision out of the Supreme Court which is a 9-0. It's always 5-4, 5-4. You got the liberals on one side, you got the conservatives on the other, and sometimes the issue gets lost in the middle. And, this is basically nonsense. The Supreme Court, which in my mind has more power than Congress and then the president for sure, should be better managed, should be better, built.
A lot of people do not like to tackle Social Security, yet you do, and you find it not only inadequate but also highly discriminatory and in need of some serious change, and I happen to agree with you. Tell us more, Don.
I would like to just say this. When Social Security was set up, it wasn't meant to be a retirement tool for people to live on when they retire. However, over the years, more and more people are depending on that measly pension to basically buy food, buy medicines, pay rent, and so forth. I'm a professional financial guy to begin with, and I can tell you this. As of now, speaking as of today, the Social Security will pay anyone a maximum pension of roughly $2,200 per month. That's the maximum. That means that to get the maximum, you have to earn in the neighborhood of $107,000 a year to be eligible for that pension. Now, in my book, I state, and this can be confirmed in many ways, that the average income in the United States is less than $50,000, which means that on the average, half of the people of the United States will never, ever get the maximum pension because they have not contributed enough to qualify for that. Therefore, these people have to rely on maybe $1,000 a month, $1,100 to make their living. While union employees have 2 pensions, they get Social Security and then they get the union pension. You got Congress, of course, they got their own little system and they take care of themselves. You got the teachers union, do the same. You got the railroad employees that can retire with up to $120,000 a year in benefits. And then you got the state employees. They get their own little package. In the meantime, those people that don't fit between a professional market and the unions are up in the air. That's the part of that I call discriminatory, because these people don't have anybody to look after them. And I believe that in a country such as this, okay, the people have worked a lifetime to make this country better, produce, contribute to this society, deserve a little better treatment than what they're getting today.
Now, where can we find your book, Dom?
The book is available at Amazon.com. It can also be purchased through my website, which is www.theamericaofmydreams.com, or, like Boris Bookstore, they can order it, or they can have it on display. I don't know exactly where, but Amazon would be the best bet.
Dom, I like politics and I could talk to you for a very long time, but we're running out of time. So again, the title of your book is The America of My Dreams, A Political Manifesto. Dom, thank you very much for being on the program with me today.
It's been a pleasure being with you.
I'm Danielle Hampson. Be well, stay informed, pick up a book today and read. I'll see you next time.